is Victor, and today I'm going to show you how to solve a radical equation, okay? Now, radical equations are just equations that involve radicals or roots, okay? Now, there's one thing with radicals that we have to understand, right? We have square roots, we have cube roots, we have fourth roots, and so on, right? Now, there's something called the index of the root. Now, the index of the root is simply this little number there, right? And that number tells us what type of root we are doing. So for instance, this 3 tells us that we're doing a cube root. This 4 tells us that we're doing a fourth root, right? When we see a square root by itself with no number, the index is always 2, but you don't write the 2. You leave it as just a square root. But the index, it's always going to be 2 when you just see a square root by itself, okay? So knowing that, we can go ahead and do this example. All right, let's say we had the cube root of 2x minus 4, and that whole thing minus 2 equals 0. And you were asked here to solve for x. Now, when you're solving a radical equation, this is a radical equation because of the root involved, you want to leave the root by itself all the time. So I want to get rid of this negative 2 first. To get rid of that, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. These would cancel, and we would be left with just the cube root of 2x minus 4 equals a positive 2. Now we notice that the index of the root is a 3. Now the way that we cancel out a root is we raise it to the index, right? So in this case, since my index is 3, I'm going to raise this whole root to a value of 3. Right? So if I raise the left side to 3, I got to raise the right side also to 3. So I'm going to take this 2 and raise it to the third power as well. Right? Now whenever you raise a root that has a certain index to that same index, right? So in this case, when we have the cube root of 3 raised to the third power, they would always cancel out. And we would be left with whatever was inside the root, which in this case was a 2x minus 4. That would come out now. So we would be left with the 2x minus 4 equals 2 cubed, which means 2 times 2 times 2, which gives us 8. Right? Now here we can solve for x by adding 4 to both sides to get rid of this 4 here. And we'll be left with the 2x equals 8 plus 4, which is 12. And to get rid of the 2 that's in front of the x, we would divide by 2 to both sides. Right? Those would cancel. X would equal 6. Okay? So we found this answer, that x equals 6. We have to verify if that answer is indeed correct. So you got to check your work. The way that we can check our work is we just replace every x that we see with a 6 into the original equation. So my original equation was the cube root of 2x minus 4 minus 2 equals 0. So to check my work, I'm simply going to go ahead and take that x and replace it with a 6. Okay? And that's a 4 there. And that whole value minus 2 equals 0. Now, in the inside of the radical, we have 2 times 6 gives us a value of 12. And then we have the minus 4, we have the minus 2 equals 0. 12 minus 4 gives us a value of 8 underneath the radical. Minus 2 equals 0. Now this right here is telling me the cube root of 8. Now the cube root of 8 has a value of 2. So this whole thing becomes a 2. Then we have this other minus 2 equals 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So this statement is true. 0 does equal 0. So that proves that x equals 6 is a correct answer. Okay? So there you have it. That's how you solve a radical equation. Any questions or comments, you may leave them below, and have a good day.